1,000 subscriber special. Let's go, guys. Thank you for 1,000 subscribers in just a month. We have been growing insanely fast ever since I started. And feel free to join the Discord. And I just want to say one thing before we get started. I got this idea from Aporoblock's videos for this game. But while making this video, he hasn't made one for Frieren yet. Alright, so what we're going to do first for this video is see if this glitched mystical Frieren can solo every insanity cavern. For this video, we will not use any buffs beside Idle and Bulma, due to the fact we are trying to see if Frieren can solo the game. But before we go into cavern, let me show you guys something. So guys, I wanted to show you the potential of Frieren Godly, and how good Frieren really is. Because I see many people saying it's not worth the long grind, but I really think Frieren is because how strong she is. And in this video, you will see why Frieren is so good to have. Let me explain why Frieren is so good and worth the grind. One reason she is so good is because of her amazing defense, that can go up to trillions of health. 2 is because her damage as a support is insanely good. Frieren leader buff is also super good buffing magic units, and I call Frieren a support because of her passives and her golem defense. But let's explain her mage staff ability. First thing about this ability is it buffs the unit. Not by a lot, but I really don't use it for her buffs, mainly the effects. She has 5 spells for each element. Her spells are really good because she pretty much gives all the good effects. All the good support effect to be exact. And after you use the spells 2 times, she gets the advanced versions. But let's talk about each of her abilities now. First one, Mastered Zeltrek. This is a super good mini nuke that damage scales off enemy in range. Second, Ancient Golem. Best defense ability in the game personally. And in Infinite, I've seen her health go up to quadrillions. The Golem health scales off takedowns for wave 150. And after 50, it scales off the wave, but let me show you guys at a higher wave. Let me show you guys Golem health at wave 300 plus. This is not even the max health for Golem, yet this is crazy. But let's head back now. Now we're on to the last ability for Frieren called Black Hole. And this ability is really good due to the fact it can time stop rewind time and can even apply extinguish. Not only is it a good damage nuke, it's even an amazing support nuke. Frieren also has this one specific passive called Mana Concealment, which is by far the best support passive in the game. Because once an enemy walks into 40% of this unit's range, the enemy walks back for 10 seconds. This passive can be really good for early game, especially because it gives more time to stall for upgrades. But I think it's time we get started to see if Frieren can solo the game. Can Frieren solo Nature Cavern? Let's find out. So I'm going to be placing Frieren in the back for these caverns, due to the fact I might lose if it's in the front, and because it can apply the rewind passive while Frieren is at the back. But I'm going to speed it up and let you guys watch. This is what I mean when I said rewinding. Going to have to replace Frieren because I messed up the placement, LOL. But as you see, Frieren Rewind is insanely good, and can save you in tough situations. But let's get back to the 3x speed. On the last wave, and we pretty much won now. There was a few leaks, but Frieren managed to handle it, and surprisingly did not lose any stocks with all that got past. Frieren element is also grass, for those who don't know. Grass is strong against water, weak against fire. So for Grass Cavern, it's best to bring a full team of fire. But now that the boss spawned, we can instantly nuke it. But before we nuke, I want to see if Frieren can hold off at wave 30 without it. All right, she was still holding them off. Let's nuke. First cavern complete was honestly surprised. Especially because her spa is pretty long, did not expect her to destroy them. But that is 1 out of 5 cavern complete. Let's move on to fire. I do not expect her to beat fire, but worth a shot. We are now in the fire cavern, and I honestly don't think she will win. Because this is Frieren only weakness fire element. But there is only one way to find out if she can beat Insanity Fire Cavern. So let's begin the 3x speed. Take a look at this, guys. I fixed my Frieren placement for the golem, and now it spawns perfectly at the left lane. And this is good because I can use my nuke freely, and my golem can defeat the last boss. We're on the last wave for the cavern, and wow, I'm surprised. Honestly, never expected a grass unit to solo a fire-based map. But now we know Frieren is able to solo Insanity Fire Caverns. Let's nuke now and get started with the next cavern. 2 out of 5 cavern complete. Next up is Water Cavern. Now we are in Water Cavern, and I think you guys will know how this will end. Because Frieren has a huge advantage to this element. But let me stop talking and start the 3x until the end. Let's defeat the boss without nuke, because Frieren does have elemental advantage in this element. So let's see how long it takes to defeat it. Frieren's passive also hits bosses, which is very useful. But let's defeat this boss so we can move on to the next cavern. Well, that was pretty obvious. Grass would beat water element. So let's just get straight into the next cavern. Change of plans, guys. We are going to be doing the boss rush instead of the rest of the caverns, due to the fact we already beat the fire cavern, which is Frieren's weakness. And her beating that basically means she can solo any... We are in the Grail rush. I'm actually concerned if she can beat it, because the boss does have 1 trillion health, and nukes does not do a lot of damage to the boss. Let's start the 5x speed and see if Frieren can defeat this boss rush. We are on the last wave. Now let's see how well Frieren does. Also, for those wondering why I did 5x speed instead of 3, is because boss rushes ends at wave 50, which is pretty long. Look at the health so far. We might actually be done for guys. I really do not think we will even get past 300 billion health. But even if we lose, let's see how far we can get. And honestly, if she cannot beat, that is totally fine because she is a support. So I do not expect her to deal much damage. Let's see if the nukes for Frieren will work on this boss. Wow, that nuke actually worked. That is crazy, LOL. We might actually be able to win this. Also, guys, I'm using the element skill tree for this godly, due to the fact I feel like that is what it would be best with. Because Frieren is mainly an elemental unit and support. But if you guys know a better skill tree, let me know too. And not gonna lie, Frieren might not stand a chance in the new boss rush. Because the boss have trillions of health. Not only that, but we have to beat it in 8 minutes. This is actually taking really long. Let me speed this up. Alright, now we are finally about to defeat the boss. But that is not bad at all, being able to solo this with just 1 unit. Pretty crazy, I can't lie. We finally beaten. It took quite a while. But it is safe to say Frieren can solo Grail rush with no other help. Let's move on to the next boss rush. The next boss rush we are doing is the new one with Frieren. I really do not think we can beat this with just Frieren, honestly. But it's worth a shot, so let's start. This boss rush is honestly as hard as the Utah breach for me. Because sometimes the Frieren boss wins or loses. And sometimes you defeat the boss fast or don't defeat it at all. But enough talking and let's begin the 5x speed. We are at wave 50 now, so it is time to fight the boss. This is going to take pretty long, so I'm just going to run 5x speed. All right, guys, it's ending, and we basically did 1 trillion damage. For one unit, that's not bad at all, but it was pretty obvious we would not beat this. But now let's move on to survival. Next up is the latest survival. We will also be using the hardest modifier, so let's get started. Let's see if Frieren can solo this survival. I have pretty high hopes for this one, due to the fact you only really have to use your nuke at the end. Let's start 3x speed for this one. We are about to beat this now, and honestly, that was super easy. Once I was able to get Frieren Golem down, it pretty much carried. And I feel like Mastered Zeltrek is pretty hated, because it is a nuke that scales off enemy in range. But it's a really good destroyer for huge groups coming. But anyways, we've beaten this survival insanely easily. Only thing left now is to see if Frieren can solo the latest dungeon. So let's get straight into it. We are on the last task for this video now. Is Frieren able to solo the latest dungeon that is out? So you guys may be thinking Frieren can already solo this, but what I'm mainly looking for is how good Frieren can handle the start, and if she is able to not let any enemy get past. Let's begin the 3x now. We are now on the boss, and let's not use any nukes for this. Let's see how fast Frieren can defeat this boss, and hopefully we won't have to use any of our ability. I do have a golem at the end, so the only way I will lose is if I sell the unit. But so far, it is looking like we will be able to win without any help. So let's see how far the boss will get before it gets destroyed. Oh, wow, not bad. The golem did not have to save the day. That is honestly really good, especially because Frieren is more of a support, and she is able to hold her own extremely well. But this is the last map I wanted to test. Let's go to lobby to end it off. Before we end the video, I want to say a few things. First, thank you guys for 1,000 subscribers. We have been growing insanely fast recently thanks to you guys. Next is I'm still looking for more people to join my clan in this game. I will be leaving my Discord in the description, so feel free to join it. And I will be leaving some videos up here you guys might like. But that is it for this video. Thank you for 1,000 subs again.